For the best value in domain names, look no further than Namecheap, where you could get domains for as low as $3.98. Plus, get 1 year of WhoIsGuard privacy protection for free. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below.
Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So what happens when you take a comic book movie, you mix it with comedy, and you add some dancing and singing? Well, what you get is the Flying Jatt, and it's actually my favorite comic book movie of the year. And that's kind of funny that I would be saying that because there's so many great comic book movies that we've seen throughout the years. And so if you're not familiar with this movie actually came out in India in 2016. The main star of this movie is Tiger Shroff, and he plays a character called Aman. The other characters in the movie is his mother, Mrs. Dillon, his brother Rohit, his love interest Kirti, and then the two main villains, Malhotra, which is right back there, and also Raka. And why did I enjoy this movie so much above all the other comic book movies that came out? The main reason why is because it's fun. This is an absolutely fun movie. And that's the reason why I enjoyed the Avengers so much out of all the other comic book movies, because I could watch it over and over and still have a lot of fun. And when you're watching this movie, it has elements of so many different comic book movies. You'll see, of course, the Avengers in there. You'll see the Fantastic Four. You'll see definitely a lot of Superman in this movie. But you'll also see other movies in here. You'll see Dragon Ball Z, which is an anime, obviously. You'll also see elements of Bruce Lee. You will also see elements of Street Fighter of all things. It sounds like it wouldn't make sense. And you even get a lot of Captain Planet in here as well. You're familiar with Captain Planet. And so all of those things put together, you would think that this would be an absolutely horrible movie. But it's not. It's done so well. And the whole general idea of the movie is Malhotra, who owns a large corporation, he has many factories that produce a lot of pollution. That's where the Captain Planet thing comes. And then he wants to build a bridge to his plant, which is producing all these chemicals. However, the thing standing between him building that is a small village which has this very sacred tree which people go to actually make a wish. And that particular village is actually pretty much owned by Mrs. Dillon. She owns the property rights to it, and she will not give this up. And the main character right here, Aman, her son, he is a martial arts teacher, but he's a coward, he's scared of heights, and he can't even control his students, which are young kids. And so he would be the least likely to be a superhero. But to make a long story short, he gains superpowers. And whenever he gains superpowers, then you get the whole comic book origin story. But the way in which it's told in the Flying Jatt, it's just absolutely a really fun way of doing it. You know, they know what they are, and they'll take elements from all these other comic book movies. But as you're going through this, you're seeing how he is learning how to use his powers. It does it in a funny, creative way because his mom and his brother is the one trying to teach him how to be a superhero. Because as I said earlier, he is not your typical superhero origin story, or even your typical superhero in general, because as his mom is teaching him how to be a superhero, he actually falls out of the sky into a car in his first time trying to save people because he doesn't know how to fly correctly. And his mom is actually even the one who creates his costume. And so very, very funny. And the reason why he's called the Flying Jatt is because his father, Sardar, he was actually in their village a very famous Sikh warrior who went to the Shaolin Temple to learn martial arts, and they called him the Flying Jatt. And as you're watching this movie, the whole Sikh community and history, him being a Sikh warrior, it plays a lot into this, but all of it actually makes sense as you watch the whole movie. Now, other elements that I enjoyed about this movie is definitely the singing and the dancing. I don't say that about too many of the Bollywood movies because a lot of times I don't think all the singing and dancing is great, but this one, I enjoyed every single number on there. Now, this is pretty much a family film except for one dance and singing number which has booty in it, and so that's about the only one. That's kind of weird that it's in there. And then also the production quality for the cinematography, the special effects. It's done extremely well. I mean, at a level that I think you could put in Hollywood easily. Everything's clean. Everything's easy to look at. There's tons of colors. And then whenever they do have the special effects, you know it's done in a very comical way. So it doesn't look bad. You know, it's just a great looking movie. And it goes together with all the music and the singing that goes along with it. And of course, the dancing. Now, other things that you will probably definitely enjoy about this movie is the characters. I enjoyed almost every single character in this movie. Honestly, there really wasn't one character that I didn't like. Tiger Shroff as a man, he does a great job. I even like the villains, Malhotra, and even Raka. Now, Malhotra, he's not your normal bad guy corporate villain. He actually goes through a small evolution as well. And so you even feel bad for him. And you'll see what I mean when you watch the movie. And as you're going through this whole movie, you just can't stop smiling, okay? Because the comedic elements, the superhero movie, and then elements of Dragon Ball Z, they all come together. And so it's really hard to explain the movie, okay, without you watching it. Because as I stated earlier, if I were to tell you all these different elements, and even like Captain Planet elements are in there, and the Toxic Avengers, it would make absolutely no sense. But it does make sense in this movie, The Flying Jatt. And not to give too much away, but if you think about Superman, especially the Man of Steel movie, if you watch that, you pretty much see most of this movie in terms of the actual development of him as a superhero, the Lois Lane elements, and also the fight with Zod. So if you think about the Man of Steel, you'll get a good idea of the whole bits of the movie that's here in The Flying Jatt. However, like I said, there's so many other great elements, and it's just a movie that you can watch over and over. And I would definitely say this is one of those movies that I could watch like years from now, and I would still enjoy. And so if you haven't seen The Flying Jatt, it is on Netflix. Go check it out. You'll have a great time, whether you're a comic book lover, a comedy lover, or anime lover, so many different things. You will find something to enjoy about this. So if you have seen this movie, let me know what your thoughts are, or if there are any other movies like this that you enjoyed. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors.
Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.